He murdered 11 people, but what he kept after each kill was far worse than the act itself. In a hidden drawer in his apartment, police found a collection of human eyes, perfectly preserved, carefully labeled, and staring into the void. In the heart of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, during the cold autumn of 1991, police received a call that would shatter their sense of reality. The address was 924 North 25th Street. A young man had escaped from an apartment, barefoot, handcuffed, and screaming for help. What police would find inside that apartment would horrify even the most seasoned investigators. This is a story of Jeffrey Dahmer, but not the one you've already heard. This is about the trophies no one talked about, the parts he kept, why he kept them, and what they reveal about his twisted mind. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was a quiet man on the surface, born in 1960. He grew up seemingly normal until signs of darkness began to emerge. By his teenage years, he was already experimenting with dead animals, fascinated by anatomy, dissection, and, most disturbingly, control. Between 1978 and 1991, Dahmer killed 17 young men and boys. He lured them in with promises of money or companionship, and once inside his apartment, they never walked out. What made Dahmer different wasn't just the brutality. It was the aftermath. He didn't simply kill. He collected arms, skulls, hearts, and eyes, preserved in jars with formaldehyde, stored like medical specimens. Each jar was labeled with name, date, and chillingly, how beautiful the eyes were. Some were green, some brown. All stared back at investigators as they opened that grim cabinet. When interrogated, Dahmer admitted why he kept the eyes. They were the windows to their souls, he said. He believed by preserving them, he could somehow keep a piece of them with him forever. He even tried to create living zombies, injecting acid into brains of some victims to keep them alive but compliant. In his mind, the perfect partner was one who wouldn't leave. The eyes, to him, were the only parts that still looked alive. Police also found Polaroids of dismembered bodies posed in disturbing ways. He took photos at every stage of the killing process, documenting not just death, but his control over it. One officer described the scene as a house of horrors. Another had to retire after the trauma. But here's what many don't know. Dahmer was nearly caught multiple times. Neighbors complained of screams and strange smells. Once, police even returned a bleeding boy back into his arms, believing it was a lover's quarrel. If authorities had acted sooner, at least 5 lives have been saved. So the chilling question remains, how many other Dahmers are out there, keeping trophies, perfecting their rituals, hiding in plain sight? And what drives a killer to not only take a life, but try to preserve the soul? Jeffrey Dahmer was arrested, tried, and sentenced to 15 life terms. But he only served 2 years before being beaten to death in prison by a fellow inmate known by name Christopher Scarver at the Columbia Correctional Institution in Portage, Wisconsin. His eyes never found. Some believe the inmates did to him what he enjoyed doing to his victims. Others say it was an unintentional incident due to a horrible fight that occurred between Christopher Scarver and Jeffrey Dahmer in the Columbia Correctional Institution. What do you think? Was Dahmer just insane, or was he aware of every horrifying thing he did? Comment your theory below, and subscribe for more disturbing, unsolved, and haunting stories that the world can't look away from.